Angus cattle, Black Angus redirects here. For the steakhouse, see Black Angus Steakhouse. The Aberdeen Angus, sometimes simply Angus, is a Scottish breed of small beef cattle. It derives from cattle native to the counties of Aberdeenshire and Angus in northeastern Scotland. 1. Angus. A Black Angus bull conservation status, least concern. Other names, Aberdeen Angus. Nicknames, Dottie's Humlies country of origin, Scotland. Distribution, Europe, Australasia, Southern Africa, North America, South America. Use, beef traits weight, male, 850 kilograms, 1,870 pounds, female, 550 kilograms, 1,210 pounds. Skin color, black. Coat, black or red. Horn status, polled cattle boss Primigenius taurus. The Angus is naturally polled and solid black or red, though the udder may be white. The native color is black, but more recently red colors have emerged. 2. The UK registers both in the same herd book, but in the United States they are regarded as two separate breeds, Red Angus and Black Angus. Black Angus is the most common breed of beef cattle in the United States, with 332,421 animals registered in 2017. 3. In 2014, the British Cattle Movement Service named Angus the UK's most popular native beef breed, and the second most popular beef breed overall. 4. Contents. History: Scotland, Argentina, Australia, Canada, United States, Germany. Characteristics: genetic disorders. Uses commercial. See also references. External links. Breed associations. History. Scotland. Aberdeen Angus cattle have been recorded in Scotland since at least the 16th century in the country's northeast. 5. For some time before the 1800s, the Hornas cattle in Aberdeenshire and Angus were called Angus Dotties. In 1824, William Maccombie of Tillyfor, MP for South Aberdeenshire, began to improve the stock and is regarded today as the father of the breed. 2. Many local names emerged, including Dotties or Humlies. The first herd book was created in 1862, and the society was formed in 1879. This is considered late, given that the cattle gained mainstream acceptance in the middle of the 18th century. The cattle became commonplace throughout the British Isles in the middle of the 20th century. 6. Argentina. As stated in the 4th volume of the Herd Book of the UK's Angus, this breed was introduced to Argentina in 1879 when Don Carlos Guerrero imported 1 bull and 2 cows for his estancia Charles, located in Huancho, Partido de General Miseria, Provincia de Buenos Aires. The bull was born on April 19, 1878, named Virtuoso 1626 and raised by Colonel Ferguson. The cows were named Antley 4697 raised by J. James and Cinderella 4968 raised by R. Walker, and were both born in 1878, on January 31 and April 23, respectively. 7. Australia. Angus cattle were first introduced to Tasmania, then known as Van Diemen's Land, in the 1820s and to the southern mainland in 1840. The breed is now found in all Australian states and territories, with 62,000 calves registered with Angus Australia in 2010. 8.
Canada.
In 1876, William Brown, a professor of agriculture and then superintendent of the experimental farm at Guelph, Ontario, was granted permission by the Government of Ontario to purchase Aberdeen Angus cattle for the Ontario Agricultural College. The herd comprised a yearling bull, Gladiolus, and a cow, Eyebright, bred by the Earl of Fife, and a cow, Leocolas IV, bred by R. O. Farquharson. On January 12, 1877, Eyebright gave birth to a calf, sired by Sir Wilfrid. It was the first to be born outside of Scotland. The OAC went on to import additional bulls and cows, eventually began selling Aberdeen Angus cattle in 1881. 9. United States. On the 17th of May 1873, George Grant brought 4 Angus bulls, without any cows, to Victoria, Kansas. These were seen as unusual as the normal American cattle consisted of shorthorns and the longhorns, and the bulls were used only in crossbreeding. However, the farmers noticed the good qualities of these bulls, and afterwards, many more cattle of both sexes were imported. 10. On the 21st of November 1883, the American Angus Association was founded in Chicago, Illinois. 11. The first herd book was published on March 1885. 10. At this time both red and black animals were registered without distinction. However, in 1917 the association barred the registering of red and other colored animals in an effort to promote a solid black breed. 12. The Red Angus Association of America was founded in 1954 by breeders of Red Angus cattle. It was formed because the breeders had had their cattle struck off the herd book for not conforming to the changed breed standard regarding color. 12. Germany. A separate breed was crossbred in Germany called the German Angus. It is a cross between the Angus and several different cattle such as the German black pied cattle, Gelbvieh, and Fleckvieh. The cattle are usually larger than the Angus and appear in black and red colors. 13. Characteristics. Because of their native environment, the cattle are very hardy and can survive the Scottish winters, which are typically harsh, with snowfall and storms. Cows typically weigh 550 kilograms, 1,210 pounds, and bulls weigh 850 kilograms, 1,870 pounds. 14. Calves are usually born smaller than is acceptable for the market, so crossbreeding with dairy cattle is needed for veal production. 14. The cattle are naturally polled and black in color. They typically mature earlier than other native British breeds such as the Hereford or North Devon. However, in the middle of the 20th century, a new strain of cattle called the Red Angus emerged. 15. 16. The United States does not accept Red Angus cattle into herd books, while the UK and Canada do. 16. Except for their color genes, there is no genetic difference between Black and Red Angus, but they are regarded as different breeds in the US. However, there have been claims that Black Angus are more sustainable to cold weather, though unconfirmed. 16. The cattle have a large muscle content and are regarded as medium-sized. The meat is very popular in Japan for its marbling qualities. 17. Genetic disorders. There are 4 recessive defects that can affect calves worldwide. A recessive defect occurs when both parents carry a recessive gene that will affect the calf. 1 in 4 calves will show the defect even when both parents carry the defective gene. The 4 recessive defects in the Black Angus breed that are currently managed with DNA tests are arthrogryposis multiplex (AM), referred to as curly calf, which lowers the mobility of joints; neuropathic hydrocephalus (NH), sometimes known as waterhead, which causes an enlarged malformed skull; contractural arachnodactyly (CA), formerly referred to by the name of fawn calf syndrome, which reduces mobility in the hips; and dwarfism, which affects the size of calves. Both parents need to carry the genes for a calf to be affected with one of these disorders. 18, 19, 20. Because of this, the American Angus Association will remove the carrier cattle from the breed in an effort to reduce the number of cases. 21. Between 2008 and 2010, the American Angus Association reported worldwide recessive genetic disorders in Angus cattle. It has been shown that a small minority of Angus cattle can carry osteoporosis. 22. A further defect called notomelia, a form of polymelia, many legs, was reported in the Angus breed in 2010. 23. Uses. The main use of Angus cattle is for beef production and consumption. The beef can be marketed as superior due to its marbled appearance. This has led to many markets, including Australia, Japan and the United Kingdom, to adopt it into the mainstream. 17. Angus cattle can also be used in crossbreeding to reduce the likelihood of dystocia, difficult calving, and because of their dominant pole gene, they can be used to crossbreed to create pole calves. 24. Angus calf with its mother commercial. Starting in the early 2000s, the American fast food industry began running a public relations campaign to promote the supposedly superior quality of Angus beef. Beginning in 2006, McDonald's commenced testing on hamburgers made with Angus beef in several regions in the U.S. After this test, the company said that customer response to the burgers was positive. 25. And began selling the burger made with Angus beef in all U.S. locations in July 2009. 26. In response to the test in the U.S., McDonald's Australia began selling 2 Angus burgers, the Grand Angus and the Mighty Angus, using Australian bred Angus, in their restaurants. 27. The American Angus Association created the Certified Angus Beef (CAB) standard in 1978. The purpose of this standard was to promote the idea that Angus beef was of higher quality than beef from other breeds of cattle. Cattle are eligible for Certified Angus Beef evaluation if they are at least 51% black and exhibit Angus influence, which include black Simmental cattle and crossbreds. However, they must meet all 10 of the following criteria, which were refined in January 2007 to further enhance product consistency, in order to be labeled Certified Angus Beef by USDA graders. 28. Modest or higher degree of marbling, medium or fine marbling texture, a majority 10 to 16 square inch ribeye area, less than 1,050 pound hot carcass weight, less than 1 inch fat thickness, moderately thick or thicker muscling, no hump on the neck exceeding 5 centimeters, 2 inches, practically free of capillary rupture, no dark cutting characteristics, usually black or red in color. See also List of cattle breeds originating in Scotland. List of cattle breeds